Rob Slim Show.
Hey, Moshaty.
Moshaty, how's it
what's
going?
going on?
How are you?
Not bad, not bad. Slim's drunk. Slambo, I'm trying to get him to take pills. I found on the bus earlier, Mo. Would you take a bus pill?
No, absolutely not.
Why not?
No, I don't know. I'm a control freak. It kind of freaks me out a little bit.
I have the bottles. Like, Slim should take one, though, right?
I mean, you have to. Somebody has to do the research.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not taking any bus pills so fast.
It's a fucking bus pill, bro.
I don't
a doctor
like
prescribed it.
Pharmaceuticals.
Yeah, whatever.
Go.
Bitch. Mo, you're a singer, songwriter, and podcaster from New York?
Yes.
Sweet. What have you been doing longer?
Singing. I've been singing professionally for about 20 years.
Wow.
So that's been the longest strong suit. Yeah, I'm pretty old, so.
So am I. Yeah. Been a minute. How long, where do you perform usually?
Well, I perform in and around, like, I live in and around, like, the Syracuse area, so if anybody's, like, NCAA fans, SU, basketball, that's where the area I'm from, and so it's, you know, in and around the middle of the state. Sometimes we go downstate and do stuff, but it's mostly just, like, smaller gigs with my band, and doing my debut album right now, which is going to be out, CD Baby, Reverb Nation, and iTunes at the end of this month. So
nice.
Stellar. I'm very excited for it.
Can you say the name of it, or?
It's actually called The Take, because it's really funny. I was like probably about 20 or 21 years old when I tried to make my first album, and I was really, really naive, and I ended up getting really kind of taken by this guy who was like a quote-unquote entertainment attorney, and which was really just some slimy guy from a rest home. And but, you know, I mean, you got a girl that, you know, he basically followed the karaoke circuit, and, you know, blew smoke up everybody's ass that really wanted to record and be like a big star. So, you know, for me, I was like, oh, you know, I'm going to do this. I'm doing things the right way. And we started, like, writing music together, and then he never came back. And a lot of stuff that he did with me, like, a lot of the lyrics and stuff, like, I've never heard it anywhere, because then I'd have to find someone and heard them. But I haven't heard it anywhere, but still, you know, you put that kind of work into it, and it's your baby, and you kind of feel taken. So for me, it was like, well, there's no other title that I can put to this. But that's the long and short of the title. So it's pretty cool. I'm very excited for it.
That's awesome. And how long did it take to make it?
I've actually only been working with my producer since January, but we work really, really synergistically and really, really well together.
Awesome.
And we've been friends for over a decade, so it's just really smooth sailing. Like, we come in, there's an idea, we elaborate on the idea, we tweak it a little bit, and there it is. So it's really just mastering everything now and getting it pretty smooth. So I don't know, it's I've worked on a lot of stuff for my friends' bands that have put stuff out, and it's been like, oh, we need to be here for like 9 months, and then we'll have a release party next fall, and it's like, fuck that, dude. It's the internet age. Get it out there.
Right.
Like, what are you waiting? Who has a CD release party anymore?
Record release party.
Am I wrong? Does anybody do that?
I'd be down. I was
going to say, we got to do the Rob
party.
and Slim CD release party. 5 episodes to a... Yeah.
A list of 2 people.
That's our audience, too. The power of 2.
Of course. There's the lovely men and women in the audience and everything in between. But no, I mean, I was like, you know, why are you doing that? Why are you waiting so long? And you're in the internet age when shit can go up in a minute.
Yeah.
And you can do live now, and you can do Periscope and all this other stuff. Like, why are you waiting for like a big CD release? Like, you know, are you going to get the phonograph out and crank out some tunes with that? It's just weird.
Yeah.
It's weird. I didn't get it, and so that's why I'm excited to just kind of put it everywhere and anywhere on the internet. Like, I'm not trying to get rich out of it, and as a musician for 20 years, I clearly haven't gotten rich off of it. So, I'm just excited to get it out there. That's my big thing, is just getting it out there. And then I'm going to London in about 20-something days, and I'm going to be performing it over there. So
sweet.
Pretty excited.
That's awesome. What? How did you meet the band members?
Well, we've all played in bands, on different bands for around the same time, about 20 years, and we kind of just had worked in and out. Like, I've had my guitarist and my drummer from that band, and we were in a band together, and then we're in another band, and then we grab another member from that band. So it's really like it's a hodgepodge of people that I've kind of played with before, and we just settled on what was a really tight fit and what attitudes fit really well with it, because with some musicians, there's ego involved, and quite honestly, we're in Central New York, so there really shouldn't be. There's a very big, like, local hair metal scene here, which is good. It's cute. It's endearing, but it's very endearing. But it's just, there's a lot of musicians in and around my town that are, they've been playing the same shit for 30 years.
Yeah.
Like when it was new, they were playing it. There's no reason for there to be like the Winger cover band. Like you got like set of 2.5 hours at best.
Yeah.
So there's and then they've got the same look and the same hair, and it's the same nothing but business in the front.
Same
and all
leotard. Yeah.
Parties in the back, and it's just that's what we're dealing with, and it's so it's for us it was what attitudes work, but we're trying to do something different, and we do. Like, we just take, different genres. I mean, we're like a mashup band, so we'll take a different rhythm and put it with a different song. So
cool. We
try to keep current and different. It's fun. It's a fun thing.
And your podcast, when did you start that?
Oh, that was had to have been the summer of 2015. We started cranking stuff out, Jay and I, and it's fun. We haven't had a lot of time for it recently because I travel a lot, job. So I'm literally in a different state 3 weeks out of the month. So
wow,
it's hard to get with her, and then like Skyping at the same time, and trying to even just get things logistically figured out, and it's just fucked, and it's hard.
Yeah.
But it's when we get it down, it's a ton of fun. So yeah,
it's amazing.
Yeah. Well, thanks.
The Friday Jive. And I listened, the first one I listened to, I think, was The Power of the Puss. And then the newest one, Craigslist, was just fucking outstanding.
Literally my favorite. And not surprise you, the things that are on there, I mean, literally there's an ass for every seat. Like, there's a pick of the litter, whatever you wanted to dream of. Somebody wants it. Somebody's offering it. It's up for grabs. It's touchy grabby. Get into it.
The big saggy boobs ad, that was my fave.
Yeah. 2 oranges and a pair of stockings. Who doesn't want that?
What did you learn any new fetishes doing that show?
Oh yeah. I mean, people are into we had to skip. I think we cut out of that particular episode this whole. I think it was about at least 8 or 9 minutes about this woman who had horse fetishes. Ooh. And it started off really comical. We're like, holy shit, horse fetishes. We have to read this. We have to take a deep dive into what's going on here. And the more we read it, and the more we realized I feel awful, and I'm kind of sick.
That's how I end my show every week.
No, this is not how we wanted it to go, and I think we cut it out, but it was just there's the bestiality in the people, and there's people that people that have pregnant women fetishes, and there's people that have the baby girl fetishes, which is whatever. That's
fine.
But it's just America is freaky deaky, especially we have one that we did that was Midwest. First of all, Minnesota gets down.
Yo, so. They're sick.
If you ever want to take a trip, they're not quiet about it either. There's a lot of panty swapping. There's swapping.
I was thinking of pill swapping earlier, where these two spit a pill back and forth at each other's mouth.
Yeah, we're gonna do that next week.
This is panties. We're swapping panties. Just take yours off, take mine off, and hand it to you. You're gonna hand it to me.
Oh, we should swap boxers right now.
And then you guys just put each other's boxers on, or you sniff them, or you just sniff them and watch stare at each other. Who wants boxers?
You never know. I mean, it's like the
Slammo, did you sniff my boxers, bro?
I don't really think you want to sniff mine. Either.
I don't. Everyone's just gonna sniff mine, though.
Live
But,
boxer
yeah.
swap.
I learned something new. What else did I learn? What's that?
No, I was about. I mean, there's a lot. We're pretty educational on that one. There's a lot going on.
How did you meet up with Jay? How did you meet Jay in the first place?
Jay's actually a close family member of mine, so we've known each other for a very, very long time. And it's just funny because we were always the ones that would be like snickering back and forth about stupid shit that wasn't really all that funny, but we'd make it sexual about pretty much anything. And when we talked about stuff, we would go out, and it would always be like that, that's funny. That Beavis mentality that we kind of had back and forth, where it just, it wasn't really all that funny. We're like, we used to start a podcast. We were pretty funny. And she's like, no, we're not. We're just ridiculous. And I was like, no, we're actually pretty funny. Let's get it down. And we tried one, and we put it out, and that was actually the first one we ever did, which was 100 Degrees on Your Ovaries. That was volume 1. And that was, kind of talking about, like, how, we got sexually awakened through movies, like how movies did that for us. And then we were just like, that one was pretty good. Like, obviously there's part 2 to this. So, we just kind of kept going from there, and it's been really fun. It's just fun to kind of not be serious about yourself, and everybody's doing it, so you might as well talk about it, because somebody's going to learn something new.
Yeah, that's true.
You're welcome.
Do you guys drink on the show?
Oh, yeah. Well, I do.
Yeah. What is your drink of choice?
Oh, I usually, it depends on where it is. Depends on seasonally. We had the Rita challenge, so we did like Bud Light Ritas, but the tall can Ritas. That was eventful. We didn't really get much done. But I usually have like cab, like I'm a wine snob, so I'll usually like drink that. Or Jay will have like she has her grapefruit and Bombay Sapphire, and if we're hanging out, we'll do it, but most of the pods are like wicked early in the morning, like 8 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, yeah, that's too early. Not for Slim. He wakes up and drinks.
But day drinking's okay if you don't have anything else on the schedule.
Yeah.
So, there's a summer one that we had that we were talking about, and we'll put it back up in the summer. It was just about, what we thought should have been like the potential fuck buddies that have been through like literature and stuff. And we talk about like Scully and Mulder and all that kind of stuff and things that should have happened, and that's wasted all the way through. It's a pretty sensational pod. So it's we don't try to do it, but we don't not try to do it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right.
Nice. What do you have planned for the next episode? Do you know already, or?
Yeah, we're actually going to. It's actually 2 that we had. We're going to go back to Craig's Lust, so we're going to a different part of the country, going northwest now, seeing what Oregon and Washington has to offer for us. which looking through is pretty tame, and I'm a little upset. Because you think, Seattle area, you've got the grunge area, and, you've got a little bit more of hippie dip free thinking stuff going on.
Yeah.
And it's just like, just looking for someone to sit on a bench and listen to my story. And it's like, why is this even in casual fucking encounters? That's not an encounter. That's like a thing you stick up at the library and like the little strips you peel off.
I just want to play a game of chess with you. I prefer your topless during a game of chess, but I would like to play a game of chess with you.
Small details, if you could, if you please. But that was pretty tame. And then the other one we're going through we're picking letters and just randomly going through Urban Dictionary, and that's pretty funny.
Cool.
So we're excited about that. It's gonna be good.
I tried getting some on Urban Dictionary. They rejected it. They said it was too confusing.
What's the name?
It was
topic.
It was punching the brown time clock, and it was if you wanted to get fired at work, you just fingered your asshole in front of customers. And they said it was too complex or something. I don't
complex.
know. Yeah.
It's literally like one move. How is that complex?
Right?
Bend and push. What's complicated about that?
I don't know. Nothing.
Maybe they're waiting for a visual cue. Like they're just, how? Okay, fine, it passes. That's fine.
Like you had it with your job, you want to get out of there, but you don't want to give them satisfaction of quitting. You got to do that.
You're going to have to fire me.
It's on you guys now.
It's on your hand. And mine.
I saw, Tumo, you're a fan of comic books?
Yes, I am. I've been reading comic books since I was 9. I had about 141, I think 141, 142 Dick Tracy comics.
Okay.
There used to be a comic shop that was down the street from me when I was a kid, and that was like the first one that I picked up. And then I eventually got into X-Men, and I got into Marvel and some DC stuff. And I've been reading them for a really, really long time. And it's neat to kind of see where they are now. And it's a little bit more like accepting. Like when I was reading them when I was a kid, it was like, oh,
yeah.
Cool.
Right.
Well, we're going to play Nintendo. And it's like, yeah, okay, but I could get into that. But it was like, it was really considered old-fashioned when I was a kid. So just the leaps that it's made right now, and then all the cinematic stuff that's been going on was really cool. The people are into that. I like it. I like that's going on. You guys comic fans?
Yeah, I'm a huge comic fan. But I wanted to say that, so when you were a kid, reading comics was like the equivalent to looking through like a Playboy magazine. Like you had to like hide it and make sure nobody knew.
Yeah. It was like being a stamp collector. You think it's cool, and you're really prideful about it, but you don't want anybody to know you're a philatelist.
I actually I've recently been reading some of the older comics. I've just been reading the Birth of Venom right now. So some of the old Spider-Man comics when he first gets the symbiote suit and that whole arc. And I've read a decent amount. I think I read the first 25 issues of the Uncanny X-Men. I enjoyed that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very weird villains. Very weird villains in the beginning.
It's always a big
they're X-Men.
The porcupine, I think, was like one of the villains was just like the unicorn.
I was always a big fan of Spawn myself.
Oh, yeah. And I think that's going to be re-released. That's going to be coming, at least some articles I read from McFarlane, it's going to be coming back, I think, cinematically.
Yeah.
I think
McFarlane... He's a weird dude though, because he's like, oh, it's not gonna be like a comic book movie. This is gonna be like what fans remember as Spawn. It's gonna be like a horror film. It's gonna be scary and very different. And I'm like, well, that's not what people want. But all right,
we want to see. The Violator definitely be the fucking clown, the fat clown guy.
Yeah. It's like Todd. Come here. Hey, Todd, come here. It's a fucking comic book.
Yeah. It was almost like he was saying, like, oh, yeah, I'm doing a Spawn movie, but it's not really Spawn. It's kind of going to be more like Insidious or something, but, you guys are going to really like it.
Oh, that sounds...
Unsubscribe. No, I mean, do you guys kind of falter like either way? Like, I'm more of a Marvel fan than I am a DC fan.
Yeah.
I haven't really gotten a DC characters, but it's just I lean more a little bit that way, especially what they've been doing cinematically.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Like maybe DC take some notes, steal the notebook.
This is how I am. I love Marvel. Always been a Marvel fan. But lately, like, the CW shows with the DC, they're doing a really good job. So, like, the Flash TV show kind of got me into the DC lore. That and the DC animated films are great. Like, Batman, Red Hood, like, those are amazing. So, like, that part, like, I've never really sat down and read any comics from DC where I've read Marvel comics. But, like, in the like, animated stuff that DC does is amazing.
Batman the animated series really kicked that off too. Back in the
that 90s. Was phenomenal, and a lot of that was like really Frank Miller inspired, which is my favorite part. My favorite lean to Batman was that.
Oh yeah,
and I really really liked it. And I went to Comic-Con in New York Comic-Con in 2015, and it was like, oh, Frank Miller's going to be here, and he's going to be signing stuff, and he's only going to take the first 30 people, and people were out there at 4 a.m. and by like 4:30, they'd already got the first 30 people.
Oh, wow.
And then they had to go home and come back when shit opened at like 7 o'clock. So, I mean, that's kind of neat though. But like with DC, like I really kind of Watchmen. I liked Rorschach's comic.
Yeah.
Those were really fucked up. Like he could definitely use his own. Like that's something that would be like kind of scary and not really. Superhero-y.
Yeah.
kind of where they kind of got to get to. But I don't like how they do like the cinematic is one character and then the TV show is another character. Like there's no continuity, and that makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense at all. I don't like it.
Yeah, it's hard to follow all that weird. Where like Marvel, their TV shows are like in their cinematic universe, and that's that. Like where like you said with DC, like there's a cinematic Superman, and now there's a TV version of Superman.
It's all like a licensing issue, I guarantee.
Yeah,
it is. Something stupid like that.
Well, it's not like you don't have the money to pay for it. I don't know.
It's all the same company, though. That's the thing that doesn't make sense. It's all WB, so I don't understand, or whatever they are now, Warner Brothers. It's all Warner Brothers, so I don't understand why they got to do it separate. Makes no sense whatsoever.
Yeah. And it's like, especially when they're trying to do, especially like the Justice League stuff, and then they're trying to put Green Arrow into it, and it's like, well, we've already spent like 5 years dealing with Steve Amell, and now you're gonna put some random dude in it and be like, no, it's the same story. Like, trust us.
Right, and that Arrow series was really big for our time, so people want to, they want to see him on the big screen as the Arrow. Same thing with like the Flash. The Flash is very big. We want Grant Gustin, but we got this other dude, and it's like, I'm a little confused. I don't understand. I don't know.
Right. It's like, it's like it's almost like that feeling, like when you think you got to poop, where you're like, I might do it, but I don't know if I have to. Like you're interested in finding out if it's going to be necessary.
I got one more thing on comic books, though. You know what comic book series I've been reading, and this isn't Marvel or DC at all, but I've been hooked on the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers comic. It's actually amazing. I don't know if you're a fan of like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, but like
like I was there when it started. Like it was the terrible graphics and like the backflipping and nothing working right. Like everything off cue. It was terrible, but it's so cool that the franchise has continued. Yeah, and that like nephew that was into it when I think I was like 14 or 15 when it came out, and then my nephew, who's like 26 now, was like, "Oh, I gotta go see the movie because it came out when I was 2." And it's like,
that was like
that's amazing. That's really great longevity for that, and I think that's a cool piece of it.
Yeah,
that's what I like.
I think
that's still happening, but that's cool that the comics are still up and running.
Well, actually, they just started it. It was like a year ago. They're only on like issue 14.
Oh.
And it's basically this dude took the series, like it's the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, it's like the series from the 90s, but he was like, I'm just going to dump the cheesiness. And he made it more like the characters actually have like real personalities, and everything is just like a little bit darker. Like they go to another universe where Tommy Oliver, who was the Green Ranger, he actually decided to stay a bad guy, and he like takes over the world. So it's stuff like that, but it's actually really well written because it was written by this guy who was like, he's a huge Power Ranger fan, so he's like, this is a book from a fan for the fans, and it's
right.
Yeah, it's actually really, really well done.
That's awesome. If there's a comic that if you don't like getting into, if you want like a detour from like superhero kind of comics, there's a comic called The Black Monday Murders that's amazing. And it's all about like stock market and like the evils of like stock market and money and like underground organizations, and it sounds like it would be really boring, but it's so fucked up.
It sounds cool. Like just the way you described it, I'm like, I have to check that out. How far are they into it? Is it like long running, or did they just start it?
Literally only on 4. And
okay.
they're supposed to come out with another issue in April, and they didn't. So now, like, I'm like, please, because I
please continue this.
Right?
Is it like an independent company, or?
It's I think they're on Image. I have it. I read most of my comics from my app because I can't ever get to the comic store on a Wednesday. So I have it on Comixology.
That's what I use.
Comixology.
Yep.
Plug in app. But it's called The Black Monday Murders, and it's absolutely amazing, and the artwork is cool, and then there's like a little sidebar about like, okay, well this actually means this, almost like a key for you to figure shit out.
That's
and
cool.
it's the creepiest comic I've read in a long time, because it literally makes you think about, that shit did happen the day before the stock market. Nobody said anything about it. That's weird.
The other one I was just thinking of that I've actually been reading is, I don't know if you're a Rick and Morty fan, but there's a Rick and Morty comic book, and I've been reading that, and that's really good too. It's like it's a different Rick and Morty though. It's like a Rick and Morty from a different dimension, so that they don't fuck with the TV series. But the storylines are still great. Like they're very similar to cartoon, like Scary Terror shows up.
Sleepy Gary, like he was there as Sleepy Gary.
Sleepy Gary, yeah. Mo, we have to wrap this up, but thank you so much for talking to us.
Yeah, no way. If you guys ever want to do it again, let me know.
Absolutely. Cool. Where can everybody find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Moshaty, MOMOSHATY, and organizedflake.com. You can find me there too.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. Have a great night.
You too.
Have a good one.
Sleepy Gary.